friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well and welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. I'm here working on this mushroom journal. This is the journal that I'm working on as, kind of a collaborative effort with the other directors of the Facebook group Studio28E. And we together designed a digital kit, mushroom themed. And so we all, designed pages and ephemera for it. And then Sherry Schmier put it together and made it into, one digital kit. And now we're offering it free in the Facebook group until the end of September. So if you joined and you wanted to get this kit and you haven't received it or haven't asked for it, you have to ask for it. And so you have to message one of us. So if you're on Facebook, just send a friend request to one of us so we can accept your friend request. And then after we accept your friend request, just message one of us through Facebook Messenger. And then we can attach right there or email. We can email it to it, but just we can either attach it to the Facebook messenger message, or if you would rather get it by email, you can send us your email through the Facebook Messenger, and then we can email it to you. And I'm sure there's other ways of getting it to you, but those are the two kind of like most convenient ways, I would think. So just if you wanted it and you haven't received it yet, just do that. So I wanted to update you on where I was in our journals, or whatever we're making, whatever project we're making from the kit. We're all making something, and whatever we're making is, the deadline is September 6th. So it's right around the corner, right? So we need to get busy. So I've been working on it, just I was out of town this past weekend, and I'll tell you about that. But here's the journal so far. I was kind of like contemplating the cover and things on my first video where I showed you the kit, and didn't have my cover figured out. So since then I figured out my cover. It's sewn together now, so I don't think I can change it now, but let me show you the cover. I don't think I showed it to you yet. So I did use the fabric. Like my plan before, even after I got the fabric, my plan was not to use the fabric. I was going to use something else. I don't know why. I just kind of had this idea in my head that I was going to use something else. And then I kind of started, fooling around with the fabric, and I was like, well, this, I really like this. I think I do want to use the fabric. I knew I would like it, but I just for some reason was thinking I wasn't going to. So anyway, I did, as you can see. So I started getting ready to cut it, and figuring out how it was going to fit, what was going to fit where, because it wasn't a huge, I really only had enough fabric to cover the inside and outside of this. I really didn't have any extra, because I was thinking if I had added extra, I would make some pockets or something, and I really did not. Here's what I had extra. This is what I have left. Let me show you. I made 2 paper clips here. This is what I had. This is not all I had. I'll show you the rest of it too. But these were 2 little scraps I made, 2 little paper clips that are coming with the journal. So that was fun to use up those 2 little pieces in something. And this is the rest that I had left. This is it. So I'm thinking I'm going to make more paper clips or something with these pieces here, but that is really, I promise you, that is it. That's all I had. So I was getting ready to, I was cutting this, getting ready to sew it together, and I realized, see, this is the front of the fabric right here. Can you see how it has more browns and like tans, and then the kind of the burgundy is kind of an accent. And then I turned it over and I was like, oh, I really like the red. I don't know, it just like jumped out at me and said, make me the cover. So that's what I did. I turned it over. This is actually the back of the fabric that I used for the front cover here. It is upholstery fabric, so it's a thick fabric. And so this is lined with file folder. Like, it's not just fabric, and it's not cardboard. It's not book board. It's file folder. So that's what I had started with when I thought I wasn't even going to use the fabric. I thought I was going to use just something else. But so so it does, if you have that kind of inner strength. You can stand it up. You're gonna be able to stand it up, or it's just like a book cover, but it's flexible at the same time. You don't want to bend it too much, but it is a little flexible, but it still has the support of the inside of the file folder, so you can stand up and have that strength. So anyway, and then so I put that red part, the back part of the fabric, on the outside and the front part on the inside. I thought that would be a nice contrast when you see, here's what it looks like together. When you have it together and you open it up, you have the mushrooms and the kind of, I'll show you the elements of this in a minute, but you have that red exterior. Then you open it up and you have the tannish and brownish interior. And then I put this is from a doily, a bigger doily. Do I have the rest of it here? I think I do. Let me see yeah, I have this right here, just so you can see what it came from. It came from this doily here. So I was trying to use this. Here's the part, this part that I cut off, and I was trying to keep this down here, but I've never made a journal with anything like this much dangling from the bottom, and I kind of wonder, like, what if I wanted to stand it up? How would that, I don't think you'd be able to. I think it would get in the way. So that's why I didn't put that down there. But this was just a doily, like a rectangle doily like this, with that piece I cut off for the pocket came from right here. And then this was wrapped around, that other part. So I have a lot of this left. If I need to use any more of it here in this journal, I have all of that left to use if I want to. So you've seen the inside. That was the pocket I'm talking about here. It's sewn, everything's sewn together, and so on the outside, what I ended up doing was using this is coffee dyed cheesecloth, but I wanted this part to stand out right here. So I've got the cheesecloth back here, which of course goes with the colors perfectly. I've never used that much cheesecloth before, but I thought with the mushroom journal, here's a string, but with the mushroom theme, it kind of just really goes. And then I used this bingo card that was designed by Dale, and I add this lace. It's a white lace, so that was what I wanted to do to make this stand out. And then that's sewn together, and I also sewed on here a piece of trim, which you can probably hardly see, but it's the same colors that are in this bingo card here, is the black and orange and some, I don't know if that's yellow or tan, but it's kind of like this color right here. And this is a trim that I received in Happy Mail. And let me just show you up close. It's sewn on. It starts right here and it goes all along right here. And it's really pretty. It was like the perfect colors. When I was looking for a trim to put there. And when I found this one, I was like, that's so perfect. I have to use it, right? So I don't know if I'm done with the cover. Like, if I added some bits, like, let me show you. A mushroom down here, that would be pretty. Or I have these fall leaves that Sherry sent when she sent the fabric to everybody. Sherry Smear sent us fabric and these little die cuts. So this little leaf could be put somewhere here on the cover. This is it matches everything here. This, and let's see what else matches. Here's a little I'm calling it a flower. I'm not saying I'm going to put this here. I'm just showing you like the options I have. This could go somewhere. This butterfly would look cute. Let's move this. See, the butterfly could look good. And I mean, any of these options could go if like you were making this journal and you wanted to add some pieces. This butterfly is from the kit, so that could be added. The die cuts are something Sherry sent us separately, so that doesn't come with the kit. But if you had something like that, you could add it, is what I'm saying. And then, see, this mushrooms, I have other mushrooms here, so I could, let's see, let me find the small one. These are mushrooms I cut out from things I used to make my collage pages for the kit. So just say I was looking for a burgundy mushroom, but I could put another mushroom up here somewhere. Let me see if I have more. See, these are, I would say that's more burgundy-ish instead of orange. So let me see if I have a burgundy one. I guess these are kind of burgundy. Oh, this one's kind of, well, this is kind of too big. But if I had a burgundy mushroom, I could put that there. I don't see a burgundy mushroom right now. A lot of them are more red or orange, and I don't want that. That's too much for the cover. But I just have a lot of mushrooms, so I might, that I cut out, so I might try to add another mushroom or two and the butterfly or some of the die cuts from Sherry. I haven't decided, but I think I will definitely add something maybe in this corner and this corner. So that's that. So today, what I want to get done, if I can, I pulled out some very yummy coffee dyed papers, which would go, I think, perfectly with a mushroom journal. I just picture, I love mushrooms because to me, it's like nature's little surprise. If you're going on a hike or even walking out your front door, there's a chance that there could be a mushroom anywhere in your yard, or when you're walking through a forest or some wooded areas, you might see the little red, if you look through next to the trees or whatever, over back under some vines, you might find some of those little red mushrooms. That's been my experience anyway. So that's why I love mushrooms, because it's like, oh, you know, God put some little mushrooms right there. Aren't they pretty? And I even had some out in my front yard last week, and I was mowing the grass, and I was like, I didn't mow over them. I couldn't. I left them. I mowed all around them and left the mushrooms. They're the little white mushrooms, and some, they're different sizes. And I thought they were so pretty. I didn't mow over them. I left them there and let them be and let them live their life. So yeah, I love mushrooms. So anyway, did they just remind me of the coffee dyed colors? Just seem like they would go so well with any kind of mushroom theme, right? I don't know why, because they're more I don't know, earth tone maybe than just plain white, right? So these papers are all sorts of papers that I've thought coffee dyed. This is computer paper, and it's the old, you know, vintage type of computer paper with the track on the side. And I left the tracks because I like the tracks, but now I'm going to have to cut some off, I believe. Let me see. If I fold it this way, it, you know, I mean, I can put a thinner page in there, but I'd rather have it this way, a little wider. So maybe I'll just leave the, or I could make, let me see how many pockets. Let me see how many. I put a lot of pockets in here already, I think. Like, here's a pocket. So, and how many pages I need to count too, because I can't add too many more pages in here. Actually, I already have a lot of pages, as you can see. So let me just count my pockets. 1, 2, here's a tuck spot. And usually if I put it on one side, on here, it's on the other side too. So just, we're going to double. We're going to count half, and we're going to double that. Because, you know, there's a pocket on the other side too. Probably. So 1, 2, and this is a flip. It's a flip. So 1, 2. There's a side pocket, so we'll count that. 3, 4. Is that on the other side? Yeah, see, there's one on the other side. It's not the same, but it is a pocket. So 4. See, there's one on the other side, but it's different, but it's still a pocket. So 5, or a tuck or something. So that's 5, 6. So 6, so 12. I've already got 12 pockets. So I really have enough pockets. Like, that's a lot of pockets. So let me see, but I hate to cut this off. So I might just go ahead and fold it up. Let me see what this would look like. Fold it up. I'm going to need to cut a little bit off the sides, but I could fold it up and not glue or sew down the sides. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do that. I usually glue or sew them down, but I have sometimes not sewed down, you know, put the sides together. I think that looks kind of cool with the holes there folded up though. I think I like that. So let's go see if we can cut this a little bit. I just need to cut like 1/2 inch off here, off the side, so pretty much down to 1 hole over. We'll see what that looks like. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this journal, and so that'll fit in here nicely, and I'll decide whether I'm going to glue that down or not. But for now, see, I have a lot of blank pages as far as I coffee dyed the back of all of these. When I printed the kit, I printed it one-sided, and I coffee dyed all the back. So I have a lot of, you know, writing room in here, but I don't have what my normal writing pages, so I wanted to add some of those. So let's add that there. Let's see, so the next page might go right here. There's something I cut off of something there. I have a doily, that would be fun. And this is really cool. I don't know what this color came from, but this goes along with the journal, and I just had this in my stash with these colors on here. Something I coffee dyed and got some other colors mixed in there, so that's always fun. And, you know, an unexpected little design there. So that can go there. Is that where we are? Yes, see, that's pretty. Little doily, and then the next one would go here. This is a big fold over I made here. So I'm just moving this up so I can see where I am. The next page, let me show you the interesting pages first in case I don't get to have time to show you all the pages. This is a piece of like graph paper that I received from Maria in Happy Mail. Has some awesome holes on it here. And let's see how big it is when I fold it in half and see what we need to do with this one. So this one, I'm going to keep the holes. I love those holes. And really, if I just cut not even 1/4 inch off the top here, this side, leave the holes, cut a little bit off right here. Let me see what that looks like. Like not even 1/4 inch. Okay, about right there. So, see, that looks good. And then, so that height is good. And then the sides I can fold in. I only have one other fold out. And even though it's just a little bit, it's still like a fold out. Gives you extra room to do something with. Maybe put some tabs on there. I can put some tabs on there. Or some other kind of, you know, playing card or something to add to that. And then you have extra little bit of writing room. And, you know, a fun fold out. And I didn't make any scraps. That's my ultimate goal. I'm sure you knew that was coming. So next one, let's see. This is the fold out. So the next writing page would go right there. Next one is another piece. Now I think I got these uncoffee dyed from Maria, and then I coffee dyed them. I think that's right. Maria, you'll have to let me know if you watch this video, if that's right, if you coffee dyed them or I coffee dyed them. One of us coffee dyed them, I know, but I think it was me, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So this one is just a hair over, like a 1/2 inch over on both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead. It won't make any difference in the design here or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut like a 1/2 inch off of each side here, top and side. And then this one will be good to go, I think. We'll measure again. Sorry if the camera's shaking. Kind of, when I do that cutting, it kind of shakes my table a little bit, tiny bit. Okay, so it looks like that's going to fit height-wise and width-wise. So another writing page, another fun writing page, and it got some color on it too from something else when I coffee dyed. It's got some pink on there, so that's always, I like that. I like that when it happens to my papers. If it's papers I'm selling in my Etsy shop, I usually save, if it gets color from something else I was working on, I usually save those for myself, because I figure that people, when they order paper, if they order coffee dyed paper, they don't want other colors on there. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's just what I'm thinking. This is composition book paper, and if you've ever taken apart a composition book, sometimes they have all the ones that I've usually take apart have somewhere mixed in, I don't know why they do it, like to get the pages right or something. They have some 1 or 2 or 3 that are single for some reason. And that might have been what happened here. So I just go ahead and coffee dye those too, along with my other, you know, full, because usually the pages are together and you get those nice wide, you know, if you leave them together, you get those nice wide pages to use in your journals, especially nice for a wider journal if you're using a book or something and it's wide. But anyway, I saved those for myself, and so to use. And this one, I can put it like this. I know that bothers some people to put the line sideways, but I'm going to go ahead and put it like this because look how perfect this will fit in here. This is going to be so perfect. I mean, all I did was cut off that rough edge, and I've used a piece of paper, pretty coffee dyed. I mean, look at the shading on there. So cool. Like, see this right here? Just like the shading is in the perfect spots right there. So I really kind of love that. Okay, let's see. We need to go up here to the next space where we need writing paper. And it's fun to have sideways lines. You can write right across there, across the lines. If you're not used to it, you can do it. Or you can put something there. You can glue something there. Or you can make a blank writing spot by tearing out a piece of paper or note paper or whatever. Just you know, kind of like challenge yourself to have fun with that if you're not used to lines going up and down like that. It's a challenge for you. Okay, so next paper. Let's see. This is some of my ledger paper that I've coffee dyed. And I bet I'm like reaching my limit on the pages here, but I want to go ahead and put this one in at least. And I have at least three other papers I can put in here, but I want to, after I put this one in, I'll probably just count my pages and make sure I'm not going overboard here. See, this one's just a little bit over, like not even ½ inch, probably 1/4 inch or a little bit more in this top two. Just ½ inch or so, or less, actually ½ inch or less. So I'm going to try to cut right by the numbers so I can leave the numbers on. I like to always try to leave the numbers on the side of my ledger paper because I love the numbers. If I can't, I can't, but I try to leave them on there. So, and then a little bit off the top here, which is not really anything but blank space. So that would be cool to keep all the lines right. So, let's see, let me check my time real quick. See if I'm getting close. So I've got about 10 minutes, I think. Okay, so I was going to tell you about, we went on a little trip this weekend, and it was our vacation that we had scheduled a beach trip. Of course, with COVID, it was at a campground too, but even with COVID at a campground, the campground was closed, and it was in May, scheduled for May. Anyway, with our family, with my boys and my daughter-in-law. And yeah, so they were closed, and they called us and said, you want to reschedule? And we said yes. So we rescheduled a couple times, but then my daughter-in-law ended up expecting now, where I've been talking about becoming a Mimi and having my first grandchild. So now they don't want to go anywhere because she doesn't get maternity leave where she works, so she's saving up her vacation. This is a blank piece of coffee dyed paper that I had already put in there, so we've already got writing paper there. But yeah, she's saving her vacation for her maternity leave, so she can't go anywhere, they can't go anywhere. And let's see what else. So I can put 2 more pieces of paper in here. Okay, I had pulled this out, and I want to see how this looks in here. Even with, I'll leave the holes. This is just from something that I saved, and it's just the right color. So I kind of wanted to see how it looked in here. And that's always fun to have different size pages, even if it's only one. Well, it will be 2, 1, 2. So that is there. And then, let's see, since I forgot that I already had coffee dyed paper, so I had pulled this out. So I'm not going to include that. So I'm going to count my pages. But anyway, we rescheduled for August, And then we canceled because they couldn't go. So we just did a little, me and my husband just did a little weekend trip, which was our vacation. Super fun because we drove, instead of driving east to the North Carolina beaches, we drove west and went to the mountains, which I haven't been to in a while. So I love the mountains and the beach and, you know, the whole state of North Carolina. But it was fun, super fun to see the mountains, and they were beautiful. So, but on our way, where our goal, our destination was in Tennessee, just over the border in Tennessee. And so on the way and on the way back, we went a different way on the way there and a different way on the way back, avoided and navigated around the hurricane, so we didn't hit that. And we thrifted and flea marketed all round trip. So I have lots of goodies to share. Anyway, let's count our pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, counting the doilies, 17, 18, 19. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. I thought that was going to be too much. Okay, I'm going to put in, I have pulled out, I'm going to go use the coffee dye paper because the other, let me show, I guess I could show you if you, I don't know if you want to see it, but I have this paper. This was, I bought a used, you know, at thrift stores. If you go thrifting, you've seen them too. Just composition books that people have only used partial, and you know, so they're pretty cheap at the thrift store. So I picked one up, and this happy face was in there, and I wanted to see. I would cut this and put this piece in the journal right here, but I coffee dyed the whole thing. I just was like, somebody drew a happy face in there, and I just went ahead and coffee dyed it. But I don't think anybody wants that in their journal, so even though I might put it in my journal though. But anyway, so I decided, I just think I'm going to use this coffee dye paper. And I like this one, how it has the white edge here where the coffee just kind of stopped right there. It has a nice dark edge up here, so I think, and it has that, so I think I'll cut down here. I do need to cut about 1/2 inch off of this one too, on the side, on the bottom, and just barely 1/4 inch off the top. Now let's do that. Get this one in here. So that's 20 papers folded in half, 40 pages, counting both front and backs. What did I say? 20, 40, like 80 papers. So that is very cool, and that's a lot of papers and pages. Comes out to add up to a lot of pages once you get that many papers in here. And that's pretty much my limit that I will put in. Like, this is not Traveler's Notebook size. Of course, it's too wide to be technically a standard Traveler's Notebook, but it's like Traveler's Notebook because it has one signature. But technically, that's really, I think, that's my limit on papers in these types of journals, because, you know, by the time I get ephemera, I mean, I'll show you how it looks today. And then when I get ephemera, you'll see in here, and I show you the final flip through, you'll see the difference. So here's all the papers in here with our pockets and side fold outs and everything right now. No ephemera yet, not sewn in yet, but you can see how it actually, I mean, I love it already. I love all the colors, the different colors here, the coffee dyed pages, how they look, and everything is looking beautiful. And you can see how the pages fit. I've got a little bit of room. If you've never done a junk journal, I leave a little bit of room here and here at the top and the bottom. So I cut the pages just short, just barely, of the top and the bottom. And then I make sure they're all, you know, I like them to be inside the cover right here, so you can see the cover and no pages are sticking out. If they were, I would just trim them off a little bit. But if you do that, you just have to make sure you don't cut off your fold overs. If you have any fold overs or fold outs, you know, if you say just take it out, quick cut, and then you realize you cut it off, you cut off your you cut off your fold out. So That would be the only warning I have about trimming your pages. So yeah, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that little update and making pages with me. And my next, I guess my next step will be, sometimes I decorate the pages and even put in some of the ephemera before I sew in the pages, but I think I'm ready to sew in the pages, so I'll probably do that. You've all seen me do that before, or at least once. When I first started out, I was sewing the pages one way because I learned from watching videos, and through the last, I think this is my 6th year of making journals, so throughout over 5 years, I've changed my way of sewing in the pages, and the way I do it now makes it really sturdy. And the book, this part, when you put it in a traveler's notebook or a book with a spine, they don't wobble. If your pages wobble, then you want to maybe start doing it the way I'm doing it now, because it makes them really nice and solid, and they don't wobble at all. And I love it. I love it. I love this way of doing it. It's easy, and I just wasn't doing it that way in the beginning because I watched a video and I learned a different way. But I did notice a little wobble at first, and then I watched more and more and more. I watch videos all the time. I was like, oh, I need to try that way, and I tried that way, and it's perfect. It's nice and solid and sturdy now, so I love it. So anyway, I'm going to come back with you and work on probably decorating the pages a little bit, some stamping, rubber stamping, some stenciling. So I'll be back, and maybe I'll have the cover decided by then too. See what I put up here and down here. So thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed that little update and fun page, working on the pages. So happy crafting. I'll see you next time.